from number 1 through number 4 is about MRS. We did this. In the midterm, right? So, but midterm was a lower extremity. The final is the upper extremity. That's the only difference. But it's pretty same. Now, I'm keep on saying you. I'm telling you again. When you do MRS, motor reflex sensory, you have to do bilaterally, motor by left and right. Then you do reflex left and right and sensory left and right. You cannot do motor on the right side, reflex on the right side, sensory on the right side. You cannot go back to the left side motor again. You cannot. Okay? Because you have to compare both sides. You have to do bilaterally motor, bilaterally reflex, bilaterally sensory. Okay? Yeah. Just like a midterm, when you come in, there will be a two piece of paper. There will be a 6 question. You perform 4 out of 6. You have 8 minutes. Just like a midterm. If you exceed 8 minutes, I'm gonna take out 1 point by 1 minute. But I think in the midterm, most of you guys finish on time, so I do not worry about it. But if you do not practice, your hair will get white out. Then it's gonna take a long time. Okay. So when you flex out, then you have to breathe. Okay. Okay. So deltoid. Okay. So motor reflex sensory test. On C5, motor is deltoid, right? So patient is sitting position. Sit up a little bit. Thank you so much. Doesn't matter left and right, but anyway, the patient have to bring the arm up like this and hold it up like this. Your hand, is most likely you can stand on the front. But most likely you're gonna stand in the back. Then your hands, one hand have to be, because patient cannot sit. One hand have to be on the patient's body. Otherwise, patient think that where is the other hand is. So one hand have to be on the patient's body. So one hand have to be on the shoulder. Okay. The other hand on the elbow. Instruct the patient, you're going to push it down, patient push up toward the ceiling. Okay? I'm going to push it down, you push up toward the ceiling. Okay, push up. Okay, as soon as you feel the resistance, that's good enough. But starting position is this. Not from here to up. Starting position is 90 degree on the elbow, 90 degree on the shoulder. And the patient, your practitioner push it down. Patient push up toward the ceiling. Okay? Remember, the one hand will have to be on the shoulder, one hand on the elbow. Okay? Put it down. Then same thing, hold it up here. One hand on the shoulder, one hand in the elbow. I'm going to push this down, you're going to push up toward the ceiling. As soon as you feel the resistance, good enough. Right? Next is reflex. C5 reflex is bicep. So you use this guy. Okay? You have to use your wrist. Do not kill the patient. You have to use the wrist. Okay? And because you guys when you practice, you guys usually practice on the one side. So when you perform it, you forgot the other side. So whenever you forgot the other side, your point will be deducted. Okay? So after you finish the motor, reflex is patient's elbow at 90 degrees. You put your thumb on the bicipital tendon. Okay? And then I usually use the this side of the reflex hammer. Okay. Relax. Thank you. And when you hit it from this position, usually it doesn't work well. Usually you have to hit it from here. So when you hit it here, then this muscle will jump. Okay, good reflex. So you hit your thumb. Right? You felt that, right? Right? Feels very weird. Okay. So you do right side and relax. Thank you. Left side, right? Good reflex. I know you guys didn't see it, but if you hit it, the muscle will jump. This muscle will jump.
Mine's really big.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit the thumb. The reason you hit the thumb, because when you put your finger, you know exactly where the tendon is. But if you take out the hand out, that's pretty big area. When you hit it, you ended up hitting somewhere else. So you won't get the reflex. That's why you put your thumb on top of the tendon like this, then you hit the thumb, which is exactly on the tendon. Okay? Okay, that's C5 reflex and C5 next sensory. Tomotone is from shoulder to the elbow, either long and large instant channel from the shoulder to the elbow. Remember, sensory, you have to tell me, either ask the patient to roll this up, or you tell me that normally you're gonna ask the patient to expose this skin area. And you must instruct the patient that this is how you're gonna do. So you have to roll or roll on your body and show the patient, I'm gonna do this on your skin and compare the sensation both sides. If it's different, tell me which side is more sensitive than other side. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I forgot something. When you perform the motor muscle test, don't ask patient whether patient have a pain. You're not looking for pain. I know maybe you guys look in the YouTube. Maybe in the YouTube, maybe they ask about the pain. But in the muscle, you're not looking for the pain. So don't ask the patient whether the patient have a pain for motor and reflex. Okay? Don't ask the patient whether they feel the pain while they're doing a test. If they say it, it's fine. Okay? Once again, go back to the sensory. So you have to, every time you do a sensory test, you have to instruct the patient that what you're gonna do, and patient have to compare the sensation on left and right. If it's different, then they have to tell me which side is more sensitive than other side. Okay? Then you're gonna roll it, and remember, this is pretty sensitive. This is pretty sharp. If you use it, you're using it like you're gonna cut the pizza, this will open it up, the skin. Okay, so you have to gently roll along the long channel or large instant channel from the shoulder to the elbow. Okay, so roll here and roll here. Probably
it's gonna
ruin this.
But I get automatic 100.
Yeah, but in the test you have to roll it, okay, on the skin, left, right, left, right. So you have to ask the patient whether they feel same sensation on both sides or they feel different. If they feel different, you have to ask the patient which side is more sensitive than other side. Okay, that's a motor MRS for C5. Okay, C6. Motor is a wrist extensor. So wrist extensor, ask the patient to make a fist and bring it up, okay, and hold it up. You have to, for C6, starting position is this. Important starting position. C6, fist up. And and the other hand, you're holding the patient's wrist. Okay? And you're gonna instruct the patient. You're gonna push this down to the floor. Patient try to keep the fist up. Okay? Hold. Same thing. And hold. Okay? That's wrist extensor. Okay? And brachioradialis. Okay? Brachioradialis runs from humerus and attached to like a 1/3 of the radius from the wrist. Okay? So patient relax. So you hold the patient arm like this, and you're gonna check it, and you're gonna hit here. Okay? Some people doing this. Some people hold the patient's hand like this, and they hit like this. Then this muscle supposed to jump. Okay? I don't check. Oh, thank you. Okay? You hit like that. Then this muscle supposed to jump. Okay? Hit 1/3 along the large intestine channel. Yeah, like a little bolder. Yeah.
Here.
Okay, that's your brachioradialis. And after you do that, see, you have to do both sides. And and C6 sensory, ask the patient to roll and roll the other side too. Or you have to tell me, normally you're gonna ask the patient to expose the skin. And once again, instruction, I'm gonna do this on your skin, compare the sensation both sides. If it's different, tell me which side is more sensitive than other side. And you ask the patient, bring the palm up. Okay? And then you're gonna roll below roll the pinwheel below the elbow along the lung channel, including second finger. Okay? So you're gonna roll like this. Is this feel same as this? Okay? You have to ask the patient, does it feel same?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then you move on. But if she's not sure, you have to do one more time. Okay. Remember, don't do this. You're not. Don't roll the pinwheel too much. That's gonna leave a mark. So you have to roll at a time. Just roll once. Is this the same as that? You cannot roll, or you cannot cut the pizza. Okay, this is pretty sensitive. Okay, that's C6. Okay, C7's motor is a wrist flexor. So C7 starting position, so make a fist and bring it up and hold it up. Starting position for C7 motor, fist up. And then you have to you have to hold the patient's wrist, and you put your hand on top of it. Hold it up. Thank you. And you instruct the patient. You're gonna bring this down. Don't let me put it down. Hold. Same thing. And hold. Okay. You have to starting position, fist up. Okay. And remember, stabilize hand have to be on the wrist for wrist extensor and wrist flexors. Okay? And the reflex is tricep. Okay? Tricep. Okay. I usually do this way. Okay? But when you do this way, do not stand here. Okay, when you hit it, right, hand will go this, like that. Okay, because then patient is thinking that she might hit me.